What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And new update concerning the next possible fight Deontay Wilder might make if the Joshua fight does not happen. Dominique Brazalle, 19 wins, 1 loss, 17 by knockout, is a possible fight and a possible match for Deontay Wilder. I look at that being a possible fight anyway. So I think Dominique Brazalle was on Wilder's radar for quite some time. They do have history. The history was they did get into it, and after Deontay Wilder knocked out Gerard Washington in the 5th round after his fight, and he really got into it with his brother, and Deontay Wilder came in as a result of that to back his brother up because him and Dominique Brazalle was exchanging words. The only problem was Brazalle was with his kids, his family. And I thought that was rather foul when I heard it, Of course, Deontay Wilder tried to clean it up afterwards, in the press conferences. But when I read it, with the all the talk and the language and stuff like that in front of someone's kids, man, that's just foul. So when I read that, I was like, okay, well, hey, it looks like Dominique Brazalle, would want to get in there with Deontay Wilder after that. So I see that fight happening. Anyway, that's the next fight that I see. It's not the Joshua fight. That they're going to go back and forth, but that is a good fight because Dominique Brazalle is not a small heavyweight. He's a hard-hitting, tough heavyweight. His 1 loss is by Anthony Joshua, okay? So it's not like he's a simp. He did just defeat an undefeated fighter that was supposedly on his way to being one of the top contenders. And Dominique Brazalle showed what he was about. He showed Dominique Brazalle that he was the real deal. So I would like to see that because nothing fuels a fight like bad blood, like bad history. And these guys, in fact, have it. Dominique Brazalle, look, these guys, it's funny. When you got big fights that's brewing and, in the back stages of being made, it's always these possible fights. And sometimes you have someone that loses before the fight happens. I can remember back when Pernell Whitaker was going to fight Oscar De La Hoya, okay? A little history. Pernell Whitaker fought a guy right before De La Hoya, which was called, he was a Cuban fighter, Deobaylis Hurtado. Deobaylis Hurtado was an underdog, but little known, okay? But he gave Pernell Whitaker hell. He dropped Pernell twice in that fight. He was awkward, he was quick, he was swift. He didn't have much of a chin. That was the only saving grace for Pernell Whitaker because he knocked him out in the 11th round. However, if that fight would have lasted, Hurtado probably would have ended up fighting De La Hoya, or De La Hoya, of course, would have withdrew out of the Pernell Whitaker sweepstakes. So it can happen, So that's just one of the dangers or the possible dangers of a fight not happening due to someone like Dominique Brazalle coming in, and foiling the fight, And mind you, if and when they fight, since Anthony Joshua's been in the ring, that's the common opponent they both have. So that makes the second, Eric Molina and Dominique Brazalle will be the second in common opponents they've both fought. So, if Wilder can beat Brazalle, which if he can hit you with that right, he can beat anyone as long as he can hit him. People just need to understand that you just can't get hit by Deontay Wilder. You can beat him, you can outbox him, you can out-hustle him all day long. You just can't get hit by him. That's the thing. It's like fighting. It's like playing Mike Tyson Punch-Out back in the 80s on Nintendo. Remember that? When you were a little Mac and you shifted to the left or the right or you ducked. And you had the little star punches. That was your super punch. But you got to Mike Tyson. He ever hit you with one of those uppercuts, you were done. That's how it is when Deontay Wilder hits you with his right hand. So, it's one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. But I see the fight happening. I would like to see that fight happening. In fact, that was on my personal radar of that fight happening after I heard about the beef that they had, in that ballroom after that fight with Deontay Wilder's brother and all that. So I was very interested in seeing how that was going to develop, you know. And Dominique Brazalle, you know, he's a good, humble guy. You know, I would like to see him get paid. So it's all about getting paid. They're prize fighters, right? You know, but let's see what Dominique Brazalle has to offer. Big guy, long reach, tall, strong, hard hitting, you know. We'll see what he has. But you guys tell me what you think about it, about Dominique Brazalle going in there with Deontay Wilder with all the beef, you know. Please leave your comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.